Hello, and welcome to the actual final episode, I think. For real this time. I kind of regret not just sticking with it last night, but I also think it made sense, given that it was past 2 a.m. Then I stayed up later than usual anyway, but whatever. Let's see, does everybody actually want to hang out here in this town, or... Yeah, I guess everybody's here except for Moore. Which I guess makes sense, and Maria also. I guess we spent some time with Maria anyway. Well, I guess let's go through everybody again. Like, because we hung out with everybody already before the ending, I thought it wouldn't happen again, but... I guess here we are. He's the one who deceived me most. Yeah, well, let's talk, I guess. Hey, guy. Why, hello, your majesty. It's only been a year since your coronation, but I see you've become quite apt at sneaking away from your palatial duties, palatial. Under constant fire from knaves of all trades, con artists and critics alike, your opening act has been rather tumultuous, no? I hadn't even noticed. How kingly an answer, never missing an opportunity to display how capable you are, commendable. Besides, most of those agitators are the kind of scum that stirs the pot in hopes that they might benefit from the country's turmoil. Nothing I can't handle, of course, all in a day's work for the royal adjutant to the Citizens' Council. Quite an ally I've made, I should hope. I wonder if my mother would be the slightest bit proud to see who I've become. Though that I'm doing my damnedest to use my talents for good, as I always should have. I'm proud to see it. No, I'm sure she would. I hope so. I was such a problem child. I'd like to make this a country where honest folk like my mother can be happy. Ah, that reminds me. Do you remember Turam, my hometown's landowner? He told me to send you his regards. He's since confessed his crimes and is awaiting trial. You were the one who awakened his conscience. It makes sense, doesn't it? You've proven your ideals to be true. That's why the country is doing so well. There's nothing more to it. I'm hardly qualified to speak of pride, but if this country has one, it's you. And I am proud to be among its people. Perhaps under your rule, the day will come that even the Winidia can walk about freely in our true forms. I don't know what's stopping you, honestly, but hey. Ah, you're curious what I look like in my true form? I'd be happy to oblige, but let's save that for another time, shall we? There's still other people we can talk to, but did you want to go to see Maria now? Right, no, we're going to Maria, that's why we're not hanging with her. Who the fuck? Oh wait, no, that's... Oh, both of them at once? Maybe, I guess let's hang out with them, why not? Hey, out inspecting again? Seems a right pain to me, but I appreciate you going to all the effort. All's well, I take it? Wish I had something to report, but I don't. Guess that's what happens when you make a guy like me captain of the Tradian Brigade. Tradian, I guess. Bit of a mouthful, innit? Still not used to calling myself a captain besides. We've even taken in some survivors from Louis' troops, you know, but don't worry. I've got 2 eyes on them even when I ain't looking. Way I see it, they weren't the ones trying to make the world worse. I just gotta show them how power is supposed to be used, yeah? We owe it to you that there's less discrimination in the city these days. Fewer and fewer are turned into a life of crime to make ends meet. If Del could see Grant Trad today, his eyes would bug out. And not just Del, a lot of other guys who didn't make it. I wish they could have seen. I don't want to single this guy out. He wasn't exactly a dear friend of ours, or of mine at least. Yeah, same. But long as we keep him in our memory, it's as close to saving them as we can get, Vinka included. We built this piece with a lot of blood and tears, so I say those of us who made it this far owe it to all of them. What didn't to protect it. Maybe I've got nothing to report today, but it's not bad, and not like bad people just stop being bad because you're king now. You've been through a lot, though, so thanks for not giving up on us, or the world for that matter. You spot any trouble that I didn't spot first, you just point me at it, I'll solve it quick, like. Sure. Let me drink some water real quick. Okay. Well, I see our king is out on some personal business, eh? I believe Hulkenberg was searching for you, but I suppose it's none of my business who comes or goes. I'm on break myself. Only try not to frustrate your royal guards over much, eh? They all take their duties quite seriously, much like their captain. Bah, who am I kidding? A knight who smiles is surely a myth. That's become clear to me since becoming titled. What could be more bizarre? A UG outcast, once a wanted criminal with a bounty on his head, made knight commander? There was, of course, some opposition at first, but the more heart-to-heart talks I've had, the more accepting they've become, albeit gradually. Times are changing. Indeed, grand titles and posts across the nation are held by all manner of tribes now, each contributing with their respective strengths. I've realized over the past year just how much a nation is defined by its people. No matter how great a king, he alone does not a country make. Yet he stands for those very people as a symbol and a representative. That the king and those around him are of mixed tribes, it has already caused a great shift in sentiment, even for those in the rural villages. How is Tadari? He seems as busy as he can handle, now that they've resumed trade with other villages. Your coronation inspired that village to greater heights. It proved that barriers can be broken, and that even they couldn't take the first step. New winds are blowing in every corner of this country. I'll have to make another trip back home with my son to see the changes for myself soon enough. And someday I hope distant generations will grow up only knowing conflict born of tribal differences from history books. We've got a ways to go before that day comes, but until it does, let us forge the path toward it, Your Majesty. Bairn. I don't know what that we'll meet again. Of course we will. My throat's feeling kinda iffy. But presumably this won't be a long one, so it'll be fine. What an unexpected kind of coincidence, Your Majesty. No guards with you today. Don't worry, I'm no tattletale. I myself just left a meeting going over how the provincial governments are doing. We convened for the new year. How are things in Martira? Oh, it's as lively as it used to be, and we owe it all to you, Your Majesty. That dodgy mess you cleaned up for us feels like ancient history now. And I'm pleased to report, as head of the provincial lords, it's nothing but good news reaching my ears. Better relations between towns has employment up and overall welfare too. Each town has specialties and wisdom to offer, and when we combine our heads, there's no problem we can't solve. I just feel so blessed to be part of it. I know I made some blunders when I first stepped into the governor's role, but I'm happy to share my failings to others, so others don't repeat my mistakes. Things are alright now? Indeed they are. The townspeople play an active role in policy and administration, and I'm not bearing that weight alone. Of course, some lords are like I was once, and would rather manage things at their sole discretion than leave things to the people. And yes, taking every matter to public opinion can be laborious. What with all the proceedings and disputes. Still, changing our own lives with our own hands makes the process worth the trouble. And choosing a king of our own will was all the inspiration we needed for change. Stroll, I guess. He's truly something. I guess this won't take the hour that I thought it would, given how these are just, you know, a bit of a chat rather than a full hangout. Who's over there? Oh, well, we can't have her so early.
Yo.
Ah, skulking about the city again, are we? Which is to say, Hugenberg is on the hunt. The classic game of cat and mouse, though who is which I dare not say. It's been a year since you ascended the throne, but it's like you've hardly changed. Should I be more pretentious? I try to act more like a pretentious git from now on. Ha, that's rich. All that royal blood in you is positively wasted, my friend. What are we to do with you? Not that I can talk. I actually came out for a bit of a breather myself. You know, I see now that even those at the top have their struggles a little too clearly. A general's duties feel overwhelming at times. But there are lives hanging in the balance. I recognize the weight of every decision I make, and I do find satisfaction in protecting those lives.
No.
Remember our first meeting back in the recruitment center? I, a fallen noble with nothing to my name, and you, a struggling elder traveler. Back then, my only goal was getting ahead. My people were little more than an afterthought. If I hadn't met you, I'd have never realized the truth about my fortune, my father's intentions, and I certainly wouldn't have saved the aliens. I owe seeing the joy in their faces to you. I think I've said it before, but again, thank you. Give yourself some credit. I would still owe any credit I could take to you for showing me the way. They live stable, peaceful lives thanks to you.
No.
You've a whole country on your shoulders now. The road ahead will be full of challenges we can't possibly foresee. But show me the way and I'll blaze the trail. The way? Did I say whale? I don't know. Now and always, it's my role as a warrior to be the vanguard. Our titles may have changed, but I'd like to think our friendship is steadfast as ever. Don't hesitate to rely on me now and always. Juno. No, 8 euros. I appreciate how good the environment is, but... Where are you? On the runner? No. Ho ho ho, what brings His Royal Majesty here? Come to feel the wind on your face too, have you? I know how it is. I have the fancy old title of Chief Engineer of the Kingdom's Infrastructure Development Bureau, and can't research as I please now, but something's missing. So I threw off that stuffy old uniform and came to gaze upon the runner in the way I do. I know how you feel. I knew you'd agree. I think my bones are aching to feel the wind. I rather miss the days of dashing hither and thither in the runner. Not that I'm ungrateful for the gracious title you've given to a man who used to skulk about modifying gauntlet runners. You haven't seen anything yet. Why, one day I'll invent a teleportation device that will deliver fresh fish straight from Oceania to your palatial plates. It would change the world, wouldn't you say? I'm just a bit stuck at the beginning on the development. And it's times like this I need stimulation of the mind. You have anything that might do the trick? Do I smell another replicant? Don't pretend you didn't enjoy it. Every time you'd pop back in with one, I remember how I could hardly contain my excitement. I do miss traveling like that. Even if the relics themselves were better off left untouched, they've become the guiding principles of my research, you know? Convenience is important, but one must consider safety and the effects it might have on the world. An engineer who dumps a burden on future generations is no engineer at all. Still, it's no small feat to design with a perfect balance of safe and revolutionary. Even I struggle with it, and I'm a bally genius. I knew it. What I need is stimulation, Your Majesty. You know, like the soul-shaking speed and quiver of a drive engine. You let me know if you ever want to go out for a spin, won't you? Our dear old girl's sparkling clean and always ready for a takeoff. Let's go right now. But let's take all my friends are on. Okay, Juna. Okay, she's still wearing that cute hat. I'm sure he hasn't changed a bit. Hello, Miss Witch. Oh, there you are, Joseph. Heard you were in town, so I decided to see if we might cross paths. I have so much to tell you about my inspection, so I'm afraid you'll need to clear a diary for me soon. Bring any souvenirs? Let's just focus on the report. Don't worry, I'll give you just the gist firstly. The Mage Academy reconstruction is going swimmingly. Repairs are in full swing, and we're already processing admissions. I must say, I'm still surprised you've appointed me, of all people, to be the Academy's headmistress. I was rather looking forward to going back on a tour as a songstress. Well, out of everybody in my party, you had the highest magic stat, other than myself. So, oh, and shall I introduce you to my furry little friend? I scooped him up in the Academy, of all places. Where? What? Was there like a pet next to her? During the reconstruction, they stumbled upon a little guy in some kind of observatory supposedly used by a king long ago. Is it Plateau? Considering the igniter around his neck, I'm sure he was being taken care of. I mean, there's no way a cat could survive alone in that cold, could he? Regardless, our mysterious kitty is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the Academy. All that knowledge was lost when it fell, so we're starting from scratch. It may even be hiding secrets as big as the Dragon Temple or the Sanctum. Oh, and I'm keeping that cat. Feels like fate, you know? And speaking of fate, on my way back I met up with Myrtus. I am not sure who that was again. I remember the name, but she's well, I trust. More than well, her throat had... Oh right, yeah, the rival singer. Of course I remember. Her throat has been fine, and she's a fairly prominent singer about town now. We both just keep soaring to new heights, her in music and me coming face to face with magic again. Surely you remember, music was the first magic born in this world. Yes, of course I do. Gallica told me that. When the heart expresses itself through music, it moves the hearts of others. And when they make hearts swell, why, there's no end to the magic. So just you watch, with music and magic at my side, I'm going to change the world. All will have equal opportunity to hone their talents at the Mage Academy. Our doors are open to all. That's what my sister would have wanted, and if it makes the world a better place, why isn't that just grand? Retta taught me that magic is more than a tool, it's in all of us, deep in our hearts. Oh yeah, wait, that's fucking Plateau, wow. Wait a second, isn't that the cat from the Academia? If that place was made of magic, how is it here in real life? To say nothing of how he could have survived in a deserted ruin buried in the snow. That shouldn't be possible, right? I just think he's cute. And he's never stopped looking cute. It doesn't bother you at all? You sure are something else. If memory serves, the last king did build himself a study in the Mage Academy. Do you think Academia was styled after that, maybe? Probably. I wonder what His Majesty would more felt when he put his little guy in Academia. The cat tends to himself quietly, utterly impartial to us. I wonder when... No extra text. Magic lives deep within every heart. There's so much I wish to say to you. My ears are open, and so is my heart. Working hard as ever, Joseph. Where are you going? About town and listening to what the people have to say? Myself, I've just come from the Crown Court, where I've been consulting with the people about their grievances and disputes as Chief Magistrate. Shouldn't you delegate that? Oh, I don't know, man. I don't like either of those. I don't want to tell her what to do, so I guess I'll be like, our court, it's time for that. In the past, we were busy with cases of violence and theft, but those have decreased remarkably. As you're undoubtedly aware, in the past many citizens were sentenced to hang without so much as a trial. I'm pleased to report things are different now. Anyone regardless of race or status can tell their side of the story in court and be judged equally as unfairly. It just goes to show anything is possible, even for a priestess to become a chief magistrate. And my brother is making great strides as village chief. He rather hated the role before, but he's truly found his calling, I think. As I said, no one knows what the future holds. It's all the more reason I try to guide people to good choices. I want to live in a society that practices kindness, where those who suffer need not turn to crime, and so I practice what I preach. The other day I went to visit Ovi's church to inquire with those who are sick there about how the kingdom can be more accessible to them. How is Ovi? Yes, we practiced dancing together, and then we showed her mother. All of them are ready to ease into working again. Okay, so they're all healthy. Oh, and there's her brother, actually, and some other religious asshole on the left side of the screen. Hearing them made me reflect on all of the people who still need our help. Until now, the only hope those people had was God. I want to fight for them to have options, not opinions, under laws and systems that they can rely on in addition to higher power. A country where all the tribes will have their values, with all their values, can join hands in harmony. That's what we need. We aim to achieve that too, yes, Your Majesty? I hope you'll allow me to keep walking alongside you in this. Of course. Hey, bro.
Yeah.
Hello there, Your Majesty. It's great to see that you're doing as well as ever. I've just left a meeting with the provincial lords. I also preach the Mustari teachings in various areas where the opportunity arises. Many will push back against us such teachings, but that's perfectly fine. Our country is well served by different perspectives. Many of the villagers have come around to this too, you know. I think that's because you all faced such danger on our behalf. Still, it won't be easy to change the entirety of Ukronia. Its history is embedded deep in its roots. The country is larger, and some people still need all the power you have. The true test of your values has only just begun. Gab. Oh hey, yeah, I was wondering, I was gonna try to find you, but luckily you're just here.
Oh.
Well, hello there, Your Majesty, as laid back as ever, I see. I myself have been crying like a baby, for I find my position as Chairman of Parliament quite an unfamiliar one. Still, I've considered these open to all parliamentary meetings, compiling all those opinions is indeed hard work, but work well worth doing. It won't be easy for those who wear the church's back and call to change, but I think they've been starting to see what they turned a blind eye to, at least a bit now. A person who speaks the real truth to the public without yielding it to authority, that's what my father and I wished for, a true and proper town crier. This country's turned over a new leaf, but there are still many problems to work out. It seems the rural regions are still suffering from human havoc. All I'm saying is we're a long way from utopia. But still, the first step is as important as the last, and we're taking big ones. Yeah. Alright, well, that just leaves Brigida. Things have changed completely. Oh, hey, this guy. I guess. Let's see what he has to say. I guess. What in the world, Your Majesty? Just one question, if I may. When are you going to lower the booze prices in the country? I'm only carding ya. Haven't felt much like drinking till I black out so often anymore. After I entered the tournament, I really went through some stuff. I was acting a fool for the world on the world stage, and to you too. I'm grateful to you, you know. Can't speak for the rest of the country, but you've done right. You've done right by us purpose. You've got it better than whoever did. Some chuckleheads out there still try to take their aggressions out on us, but they are just venting, probably. I'm sure you'll do something soon enough. Oops, sorry. The king himself out browsing the shops. Perhaps I need to draft up a royal certificate of appointment. Tell the world we supply goods to the royal family. Any recommendations? One igniter in particular, in fact.
though I'm afraid we're all sold out of it at the moment. The igniter I made at the children's request, the one that lights up with the rainbow colors, is selling startlingly well. The store was packed with families and children. I now hold a position where I control the distribution of all manner of goods throughout the kingdom as the head of the Igniter Consortium. I can't help but think that if I had been in this position sooner, then the church's violence, the tragedy of that village, could have been prevented. It wasn't your fault. There was nothing you could have done at the time, Brigida. I know that. I only rose to this position once you became king and shed light on what lurked in the shadows of this country. Though you can't take full credit, as it were, I was nominated for my new position by my colleagues. Our new king has changed this country for the better, however. As a former arms dealer, it would be naive to think that all weapons can ever disappear from this world. It's all the more reason I hope that the reasons for people to wield them continue to decline. To that end, I'll continue doing all that I possibly can with all that I am, just as you do. Ah yes, do you remember my dog? I found the ones who took her. Naturally, I considered ending their lives. I would have totally turned a blind eye on that one. But there she was, sitting beside them. Oh! Evidently, they could not bring themselves to harm such a sweet creature, so they decided to keep her and said, okay, man. That is the nicest news we've heard since we heard that she was supposedly dead. I had no choice but to spare their lives. I couldn't subject a gentle dog to the atrocities I'd commit to in her name. You should come play with her sometime. I'm sure she remembers you. Yippee! That's great. That's actually great. Actually, let me... Oh, can we not go to the... I guess I'll try that after... Wait, I guess no. We'll go to Hogenberg right now. How utterly unsurprising. There's one more NPC that's not a social link that I feel the need to talk to. That I don't think we got to before. And it's her! To think that the king of our country would sneak over to my tavern without so much as a single bodyguard with him. He never changed, do you? But this city hasn't changed either. Sunshade Row isn't as safe as one might hope it would be under your rule. Still, why don't you pay Maria a visit before you head back to the palace? It'd definitely make her day. I'm gonna do that. But it's gonna take a little longer. When you've finished your business outside the palace, please promise me you'll return to resume your duties, Your Majesty. If you take this as my pressuring you not to venture out, that's not it at all. Only that as Captain of the Royal Guard, I must know your whereabouts at all times. Relax, Oakenberg. I don't know. Wow, the formality. Well, that is, think of your station. How else would the Knights Captain address the Lance King? As husband? As dear? To be overfamiliar would set a poor example. Imagine the scandalized faces of the rank and file guard. That said, not a day goes by that I don't reflect on our travels now only a year past. I owe regaining my pride as a knight to that journey. I was but a wanderer searching in vain for the prince, and it was through you I learned that he had lived. And in the end, it was your ascent to the throne I supported. I never tire of the faces the younger guards make when I tell them of the time you acted as witness to my duel. Brings back memories. Not only of my duel with Rodante, but with the journey we undertook. You were the reason I could endure the fight to the end. I am pleased to say the knights of today are nothing like what they were under Rodante's command. Soldiers take up their sword not for those in power, but for the people. And as the champion of the power yourself, we will do all in our power to protect you, our king. You do not make it easy by sneaking out of the palace as you do. though I suspect the soldiers are getting used to your chaotic tendencies. They know they protect not just a king, but a ruler who stands beside his people and hears their voices in clarion truth. I will protect you with my life, as I have always endeavored to do, Your Majesty. Only let me stay by your side to do so.
That was a marriage proposal. She wants to marry me, and I say yes. Are you somebody I know? I don't think so. Katarina!
I wonder if that guy, I guess he's the king now, is doing alright. You can still call me that guy if you want. Or dear. Now well, if it ain't the big man himself. Good timing, mate. I just got back into town myself.
Where'd you go?
I'm captain of the Seekers Recon team, remember? We travel the world doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And crazy doesn't begin to describe what's beyond the sea. The sights, the magic, everything's so fantastic. I'm already itching to get back out there. Well, I'm not especially keen on dodging the bloody cannonballs when my ship gets too close. Lots of tension out there. But what country isn't a little tense? Everything from the customs to the way they think is so different. My head spins. Makes all the tribal bickering seem right dull, if I can speak my mind. But this country's changing for the better. I'm glad I turned over the throne to you. I appreciate it. Oh, come on, I'm just roasting you. After we knocked heads, I knew I could trust you with making the lives of us Pericles better than they was. All my cohort,
Shouldn't there be an S? Anyway.
have found jobs, and some of them have even picked up new skills from being out at sea so long. But don't you worry about your kingly head. I'll have it all whipped up in a report for you. Do something proper kingish with it, yeah?
Sure. Well, it's a crazy place.
Well, I guess it's time to go actually find Marie. Exactly 128 hours. I guess it's that way.
We're surfing there.
Ah, I think we've heard all we can from people. Should we head to where Maria is?
Let's go see her.
Being here sure brings back memories. You remember how we came here looking for Maria before the tournament for the throne? She was crying back then, though.
She's happy now, I hope.
Things are different now, though. You can say that again. This country's turned around since then, no doubt about it. I'm sure there will always be differences of opinion, but your ideas are really coming to fruition now. I can feel it. That reminds me, what's up with the book you're carrying around now? Is that the one you've been working on yourself? I'm excited to see what kind of fantasy you can conjure up.
It's gonna be this game.
But maybe that's not even the word for it. After all, if you're the one putting it in ink, that means you're going to make it a reality someday. Now then, Your Majesty, shall we get going? Woohoo. There she is. Thank you for being voiced. No, you can keep calling me that. No.
あのね、ちょうどお父さんに報告してたんだ。いろいろあったけど、あれからみんなで頑張ってるよって。
Am I keeping my promise?
いつかの約束、自分は守れているかな。
悪い人をやっつけて町の人に笑顔が増えたよ。お父さんもきっと喜んでると思う。よかったね。マリアに言ってもらえると私も本当に嬉しい。
It's a joy to see kids like her smile. The future changes slowly, and the burden of its momentum will fall on their shoulders one day.
私もね、できることから頑張ってみようと思うんだ。私ね、 みんなに伝えたいんだ。誰かと手をつなげば世界はきっと変わるって。
Just make sure you don't overwork yourself. You need to have fun and stuff, okay?
あれから何回もファビアンヌさんのご飯お腹空いた人たちに食べてもらったんだよ。そこで自分の場所が分かったって人もいた。きっと私もそう。そうやってみんなで一緒に変わっていけば王様とお父さんの夢にも近づくでしょ。
The place where I ought to be. The side of myself I ought to show. The path is never clear.
私も何かお手伝いしたい。だってみんながニコニコ笑ってる国がいいから。
You make a trusty advisor.
よろしく。心強い側近さん。
ありがとう王様。ありがとう王様。
ありがたいのはこっちだな。あの笑顔、この国の明るい未来そのものだ。
Don't sneak up on me.
みんな
久しぶり。元気してた？せっかくだし私もアルセスに挨拶をしておこうと思ってな。
おい、あの方たちはもしかして。俺見ろ、人目を引いてるぞ。ゾロゾロいかんでも。
Well, but at least this means we're safe.
たまには全員集合もよ。
Yippee.
ジュナさん、地道に凱旋車で地べた走ってきたんすか？転移魔法あんだから迎えに王様呼べばよかったのに。
お前な。
いいのよ。私が国の様子を見て回りたかったの。都会と違って地方はまだ結構荒れてるわね。強化現象も残ってるし人間も相変わらず出るみたい。
その都度兵を連れて乗り込んではいるが、遠方の声まで残らず拾うのはなかなか難しい。
当たり前だけど王様になったからって急に全部を見渡せるようになんかならないもんね。
去年の俺と同じだな。結局世の中外出て足で稼がんとわからねえことだらけだ。
He's right. The capital can be a bit of a bubble. There will always be more to do and learn beyond its walls. Sequel on another continent.
1年前なら直接
Coming out tomorrow.
けどまあ今なら多少は留守にしても回るんじゃないか。
まあこうなる可能性も考えて準備くらいは進めている。
とはいえまだ1年だ。君主の衛星が増えれば悪さを企む者はどうしても増える。
お、いたいた、あそこだ。なあ、言ったろ。あれ王様だろ。
Who the hell are you, onlooker?
さすがに目立ちすぎたか。
よう王様。
何がよう王様か貴様。
It's fine.
落ち着け。秒で抜こうとするんじゃない。外へ繰り出してきたのはこっちだろう。
王様、いつもありがとな。あんたのおかげでだいぶ暮らしやすくなったぜ。
You're welcome.
いろいろあるけどさ、一緒に頑張っていきましょう。応援してるからさ。
Yippee.
みんな応援してくれてる。なんか去年の景色が蘇ってくるね。
そうだな。こういう声聞いてっと思い出しちまうぜ。あの旅をな。
It is a kind of weird, I guess, that like about half of all people, you know, at the time were not for us. It was like a 50-50 supposedly, right? Until we killed essentially Louis. So I don't know. But hey, I guess it's all for the better now.
何せドラゴンまで全部ぶっ倒して回ったからな。考えてみればよく生きてたな、俺ら。
なかなか刺激的な無茶だったわね。
I do think, I guess it's neat that they're mentioning the dragons every now and then, you know, even though that was optional. I think at least, I'm pretty sure it was optional.
竜神様を鎮めるために戦った時にはまさかあと4度も竜と戦うことになるなんて考えもしませんでした。
同感だ。よもや竜殺しの称号をもらう日が来ようとは。人生何があるかわからん。
I resolved to believe in my ideals, no matter what may come, even back then. Even if the world is slow to change, a king's belief can never waver.
大変だったが、本当に楽しかったな。
結構人が増えてきたね。そろそろ仕事に戻りましょう。
ああ、すべきことはまだまだ山積みだ。
Doesn't look like that much of a crowd. Precautions, some days later. Hey, it's the runner. It's our map.
旅？ちょっと、本当に行くつもり？
Yeah, I'm ditching this country. There's more I have to see, and of course you have to come along.
自分の目で確かめたいんだ。
世界の様子をちゃんと知りたいってわけね。ま、王様だもんね。
そいつは楽しそうだが、旅となるとお忍びでその辺歩くのとはわけが違う。お前さんは民の期待を背負った国王様だ。王様らしく王都にでんと構えと。
Don't act like you're not itching to come with me on a journey. I just want to do what I can.
できることをしたいんだ。それが国王らしくないなら地位にこだわりはない。
ちょっと冗談でもやめて。
相変わらずの肝っ玉だな。ま、言いたいことはわかるぜ。マグラや人間ってのは国に渦巻く不安そのものだ。ってことはそれがどこにどんくらいあんのか目で見て回れるわけだ。不安と向き合えねえまんまじゃ人が上を向けねえ。人が上向かねえんじゃ国や社会が上向くはずもねえ。だから確かめたい。それが君主として一番にすべきことだってとこが。
Even the most faraway future begins with the belief that it can be realized. So I press onward. That's the best I can do.
それならそう言ってよね。も
う俺はいいと思うぜ。楽しそうだしな。てかそれでこそ俺の知ってる我らが王様ってもんだ。となりゃ宮廷技師の俺も音もするしかねえよな。
Yeah, you poor lad.
王族
No
専
other
用の
choice.
凱旋車は俺にしか運転できねえしな。何せ国中のドラゴン征伐までやってのけた王様だ。ついていったら今度は何が見られんのかゾクゾクするぜ。伝説の旅路再びってやつだ。おいお前ら聞こえたか？
王様、勝手に話を進めるな。まったく。
They're in their old outfits.
城を出るならお声がけをとあれほど言ったでしょ。まったく。
ニューラス、あらかじめ呼んでたってこと？
話が早いだろ。てかなんだよ。6本槍なのに2本だけじゃねえか。
I thought the others would just show up a little later.
さすがに全員で払うわけにいくか。
お、その口ぶりだと止めねえってことか。
ヒュルケンベルグと話し合ってな。もしお前が行くと言い出したら止めるより俺たちもついていこうと決めた。
Of course. I'm glad, but
嬉しいけど大丈夫なのか？ルイとの最後の戦いを思い出してな。 あの時国のみんなは俺たちの理念や言い分だけを応援してくれたわけじゃない。
今まさに頭上で怪物と戦っている。そんな姿を応援してくれたんだ。いつだって人は最後には体験や感情で物事を決める。正しくても仕組みが確かでも顔が見えない相手をいつまでも信じていられない。孤独を拭えない存在だ。
だから世界をもう一度見てこようって考えには反対しない。顔が見える王になるために必要なことだろう。
Yeah. My friends and allies believe as I do. Their support is the greatest treasure I could have.
しかしこのように新年早々とは困った陛下であらせられる。
全員集合とはいかなかったがまた一緒に行けて俺も嬉しいぜ。
I guess as long as I have Falkenberg, it's not so bad.
けど本当に大丈夫なの？将軍と近衛隊長が揃ってついてきちゃって。
近衛が王に付き従うのはむしろ当然だ。それに私一人が不在なくらいでふぬける我が隊ではない。
なんとかしてみせるさ。信じて人に任せる。俺たちこそが率先してやらなきゃな。
Then let's go. Hey, yo, Fiverr. Well, yeah, it's just what I do now. I just keep on playing and pretending like I haven't beaten it yet. That's just what I do. It's my job. I'm not getting paid for it, but I've made it my job, and I will either die doing it, starving to death, or somebody will pay me. Eventually. Maybe. Hopefully. I'm so hungry. Hungry for more metaphor.
かの日、私の声を聞き、答えたもうた人よ。
I did.
幻想とは無力な作り物か？あの問いの答えは、きっと誰もが生きている限り問われ続ける。
Yeah, well, I think I've already beaten the final fight.
しかし、
But hey,
彼
who
はき
knows?
っと成し遂げるだろう。君が信じて導いてくれたおかげだ。未だ希望を失わぬ異教の住人に願い、導きを得ること。それこそが我が王の魔法の真の姿。君は求めに応え、希望を、すなわち幻想の力を見事示した。なんと恐れ知らずで、軽やかで、心躍る導きだったろう。
I guess he's talking to me, the player. I think.
ありがとう。
You're welcome. Whee.
この感じ、久しぶりだな。
ああ、頬に当たる風が懐かしい。
柄にもなく詩人だな。
Hey. Is everybody here or just you?
てかひどくない？
Everybody's
置い
here.
ていこうとするなんて。まあ転移魔法ですぐ戻れるでしょってついてきた私たちも大きなことは言えませんが。
つうかよ、この子に新しい景色を見せてやりたかったしな。
Oh. She's coming with us? Okay.
皮肉だな。王爵の消滅でマグラが整い、砂地に緑が戻るとは。
でもこっちの方が断然好き。
行こう。
Well, that's the question, right? Who knows? But it's looking like it was actually the final fight. Credits. Could be a post-credit super boss. Real true boss. But yay, there it is. So yeah, maybe that's what I have to do. Yesterday I beat the final boss and all that, but then there was another sequence and I was like, shit man, I still gotta do other stuff, so I stopped and now now I'm playing the rest, which is pretty short, but you know, that's what I did. You sure did. But yeah, here's the credits, yippee! And at the end it's probably gonna say, like, the true seeker Jolene, or whatever it was. If my game theory is right. Anyway. Yeah, Metaphor, ReFantazio, Fantazio, whatever it is pretty great. There's a lot of frustrations for me. Like, especially with that fucking unstun mechanic. That shit drove me up all the walls. But, for the most part, it's forgivable. I mean, the unstun mechanic really, I don't think is forgivable. That shit is fucking stupid. But, like, you know, in the grand package, it's you know, it doesn't make the game bad. It's still really good. It is also a real bummer that yesterday I died to the final form of the final boss and had to redo that stuff. Otherwise I would have totally finished the entire thing in that stream, instead of awkwardly having to place this here. But that was just a string of bad luck, I think, because, like, I really didn't play any differently. It was just like all of a sudden the boss went like bop, 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 and you're dead. But that's just how it goes in turn-based RPGs, where you don't have, like, active time ways to avoid damage or whatever. Which is why that genre will never be my favorite, even though I play a lot of RPGs and I like a lot of them a lot. The genre itself is just fucking random elements really fucking anger me. And there's a lot of them in this game. I do wonder if they're actually, like, you know, thinking of doing a sequel to this game, because, you know, technically they kind of set it up. Like, hey, there's still other places where problems are still there, and we're kind of going on a trip right now with a gang. But it's also, I think, it also works just as, like, an open ending, like, hey, these characters are still alive and doing things. This world isn't concluded. And also, like, if there was a sequel, like, starting with a full party of all of these characters, I guess they'd have to, like, Metroid that shit and, like, get rid of, like, oh, over in this country, your archetypes don't work anymore. So, tough luck, bitch. Well, maybe it is. I think we've seen all of these paintings in the game. I think these are the pages that everyone was reading from our book when they, like, joined us. That seems that seems likely. Really cool soundtrack on this game, by the way. Got some pretty unique stuff, especially the voiced songs, like this one, like with all of these weird. It's weird, but it's kind of awesome. It's its own thing, while still having that distinct. I think Shoji Meguro is the name. Still having you know, a recognizable style in there. I guess the visuals are like a weaker part, but maybe that's just because I had the settings set to low. Maybe if you have it at the highest settings, then it actually looks really good. But on my settings, it looked just okay. as I already said once, like a Switch game kind of. That's not a bad thing to me. Like Switch games look totally fine, but like, you know, rough textures and stuff like that definitely aren't the prettiest. Look at all these jobs, I think, that are being shown there. Occupations. Yeah, maybe my own Fantagio wasn't strong enough for these visuals. Look at all these voice actors. Let's choose voice, Queen of Erda. More narration. Yeah, different voices. Sound Corporation. Credits are so credits these days, you know what I'm saying? They're like credits and stuff. They used to be credits, you know. Back in the day, credits just used to be credits. But nowadays, credits are like so credits, man. Not enough. Animation team. I really do wish they had just given Hulkenberg a different starting class. I've said this a million times, but man, the knight is so lame. So lame. And then the path to the Royal Knight is so fucking stupid. I will never forgive them for the path that they made Hulkenberg take. There was definitely somebody in that, I don't know, that battle balancing team or whatever that had a problem with our best girl. And I cannot forgive that person. Their name was probably already in the credits. So I would just have to remember from my photographic memory who that was. Because I would totally be able to tell just from the name. And then I write their name in my Death Note, which I definitely have. But I'm not Kira. Just for the record. And then I guess things would be fine. That reminds me of that Death Note Among Us type thing that just kind of randomly dropped recently. I actually saw some gameplay of it. Some of my VTubers played it. It actually seems pretty neat. You know? But it's just so weird that it happened now. Looks like we're nearing the end of these credits. Business producer. Creative producer. Speedtree. Like, Speedtree is so old at this point, like, that shit started so long ago, and it's just everywhere. I feel like in literally every game uses Speedtree, even if there are no trees in it. They just use it, because apparently, I guess maybe it's cheap and really good. Or something. But it's literally everywhere. Wow. The Great Seeker, Jolie. Haha.
君にとってこの旅はきっと幻に過ぎぬもの。
No, it's the realest shit, yo.
だが、どうかこの幻の旅の記憶が君の現実においても 輝ける希望とならんことを、幻想が君の力とならんことを心より願っている。
Yeah. Thanks, man. Uh-oh.
見ろよ、残骸が今や観光名所だ。
未知の景色に変わっていくな。
見に行きましょう。どこまでも。
新たな旅立ちか。太古、人は栄華を極めながらも滅んだ。私はそれを知り、目指す理想を書に表した。幻想の物語。それを信じた彼らによって王国は息を吹き返した。
未知なるものを信じる力こそが全てを変えていく。この先もあらゆる困難が待ち受けるでしょう。でも精一杯歩みなさい。恐れず未知なる世界へと。
I will try. Thank you. Fantasy lives on. Hey, achievement Coronation of the King. Witness the ending. System. By saving your clear data, certain things can transfer over as is to a new game. You can transfer currently owned items, with some exceptions: money, mag, royal virtues, scanned enemies, memorandum, archetype statuses, and total playtime. Save clear data? Sure. Here. Yay. 128.30. Save complete. Wow. ReFantazio. Yeah, I mean, I guess I still could. I guess let's just see what happens if I don't. This is probably just gonna put me at the very beginning of the game, but you know.
誰かな？どこからか私を覗き見ているのは。
Hey, it's me, scheming man.
君が何者かはわからないが、私た
Don't
ち
you
の世界
remember
に
me?
関心がある。
Don't you remember what we've been through?
興味深いね。名前を教えてくれないか？他の誰でもない。今こちらを見ている君自身の本当の名前を。
It's Cheesus this time. Confirm. Your name's indeed Cheesus. You will name the protagonist later. Yes, but I guess, yeah, this is just the beginning of the game again.
ほう、珍しい響きだ。こちらの
Yes,
世界
I
で
maxed all of the social links and did all of the quests. It actually is like not hard in this game to max every social link and do every quest. Like in Persona games, it can be pretty tough, right? I think even in Persona 5, I didn't get everyone, just everyone that I wanted. But here it's like pretty trivial. Yeah, it was good. Very good.
私のいる世界の出来事は君にとっては絵空事、別の地平の物語、すなわち幻想だ。
What? I guess you're not a real gamer then. Sorry to say.
だが、全てが君とは無関係だと言い切れるだろうか。こちらの世界に触れようとしているなら、初めに聞いておこう。幻想とは、現実に影響をもたらさない無力な作り物か？
Not always.
ただの夢物語ではなく幻想が己の生きる現実に何かをもたらすこともある。君はそう信じているわけか。私には未だ答えがわからない。だがもしも幻想とは世界がこのままである必要はないという願いなのだとすれば幻想こそが世界をも作り変える新たな現実となるかもしれない。それを確かめるため君が体験しようとする物語を見守ってみることにしよう。それでは始まりだ。
Let it begin. Regicide. That one wasn't there at the start. A high risk, high reward mode for only battle hardened players. Totally gonna play that. Setting a regicide difficulty. You will not be able to change this difficulty later. You would prove you would prove yourself. Totally. But yeah, I guess, you know. We're gonna end it here. Once again, a little awkward that we're just having another short stream. Look at, there's my Hulkenberg. There she is right at the start.
うまく入り込めたね。 ここを抜ければもうすぐ王都よ。
You know, I'm just at the start here, you can see. Just the start of the game right here. Yeah. I played it hard, as you can see from the thing in the brackets. Yeah, that's gonna be the end here. It's my girl Hulkenberg. She doesn't know that she's in love with me yet, but she's totally gonna be. And yeah, I thank you for watching, hanging out, and making fantasy reality and reality fantasy, and not listening to these dumbass bandits in whatever they say. So yeah, I hope you'll join me again sometime. I probably won't stream tomorrow, because I'm going to be playing D&D then. And I haven't decided what I'm going to stream next, so, you know, probably best not to stream anything tomorrow. But then maybe on Monday we'll be back with something. I have a couple of games that I could be playing. Bought some stuff in Steam sales and such. So we'll see. The world is my cloister, and we'll see what happens. So until we do see, I say, Otsukare-sama. You know, let's watch Hulkenberg kick these guys' asses at least. I mean, she kind of does, right? She also kicks us down the hill, but that's to save us. You can't have that book. Guys, this guy doesn't want to let go of the book. Oh no! Her face there was the thumbnail of my first episode for this game. Hey, there she is! Boom! Hulkenberg es numero uno. Whip. Whoops. Alright, I guess she didn't actually push us down, it was this asshole. So she never did anything wrong. Alright, well, until we meet again. Hopefully not after falling down a cliff. And getting mugged by bandits. Otsukare-sama. Bye-bye.